This is DCTV's Dawn Weekly, keeping you up to date on what's happening.
Welcome back. So Andrew, it was raining buckets earlier today. What can we expect the rest of the week?
Well, Z, we're going to expect a little more rain, then some sun will come in, and then back to rain. So, right now, you can see how it was earlier today in Nebraska around 1:30, 2 o'clock. The rain was over here in Hastings, but now, about an hour ago, it moved into the Crete area in Lincoln, and it just stayed there for a while. But we came nowhere near our record high and low because of the rain. It was moderately cool in the 70s. The record high was 98 degrees in 1947. The record low, 28 degrees in 1991. Let's take a look at our week's forecast and see if we come anywhere near those numbers. Tomorrow, we're expecting AM showers, highs around 70, lows in the 40s. On Wednesday, the sun will be out pretty much all day with a high in the mid-70s, lows in the mid-40s. Thursday, it's going to be mostly sunny with highs in the 70s again and lows around 50. Friday, you can expect few showers with highs in the 60s and lows in the 40s. We had perfect weather for the football game in Crete last Saturday, but they play up in South Dakota this week, so it's going to be raining and just cold up there. What can we expect from the sports section?
Well, if it's going to be bad weather, hopefully they can play good in bad weather, because they play bad
and good weather. I understand what you're saying.
It'll be a difference this week.
So what you doing there on that BlackBerry, Z?
Well, Andrew, I'm trying to look up some weather, but it's being a little slow. How about you help us out?
I can do that for you.
Sounds good.
So the weather was great today. It was mildly cool and nice and not too windy. The temperature was around the 50s and 60s range, and the record for October 20th was 86 a few years back, and we were nowhere near that today, which to some people's delight. But right now we have a map of tomorrow up here where there will be some rain showers, and that's these green things. Not a lot going on other than rain showers, but the darker green with the temperature, depending on it, it could be snow if it's cold enough. So we'll get right into the week now. On Tuesday, we're expecting showers, about 70% chance, rolling in around midnight tonight, high of around 52. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the rain's still going to be around with a low of around 32. That's when we could see the weather shift to some snow for Thursday and a low of 34. The record low on October 23rd is 18 in 1976. And hopefully we don't go that low or we could end up with a lot of snow. But Friday, the weather will be clearing up with a high around 50 in the mid-50s. And Saturday, for the game, it's going to be highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s. And I'm going to go talk to Mo because the weather for the Doan football team hasn't been too hot, actually rather cold these past few weeks. So let's get Mo's take on that.
Well, the Tigers seem to play bad in good weather and even worse in bad weather.
Yeah, so hopefully this 50-degree weather is average and they'll play average. I mean, that's what we can expect, I would hope.
It's probably because they're an average team.
We'll get the rest of the sports from you then, Mo.
You know, Andrew, they say that the flu can be caused by cold weather. And it's been awfully chilly, so I don't know if I'm going to need more than this jacket.
You might actually need more than that, especially after leaving tonight. But later on in the week, it's going to get a little warmer.
Okay.
But you still should use a jacket.
I'll keep it with me. All right.
So let's look at the nation now on temperatures today. And you can see on the west coast, it was in the 40s and 60s. Mid-40s and mid-60s, so it's still pretty warm there. And then this blue here in the mid-upper America is really cold, with it being 35 degrees in Nebraska today, in Lincoln. That's just freezing out there. And on campus, the students just kept telling me all day, man, I'm cold. And you could tell that it was really cold out there. Anyway, over here on the east coast, up top in Maine, it was 50 degrees because they're close to Canada, so it's pretty cold up there. Down in the lower section of Florida, 80 degrees, which is actually pretty pretty good temperature. Wish I could be in some 80-degree weather right now. But tonight in Florida, they are sitting in 50-degree weather, which is still going to be better than what we're having in Nebraska as 30s, you know, right here, 30s. And then on the west coast, they are still in the 40s and 50s, so not too bad over there. Now this week it's going to be very sunny, and tomorrow the sun's going to be out with a high of 57. Wednesday it's going to have a low of 42 with the sun still up there, and Thursday there are going to be a few clouds in the sky with that sun and a high of 68. If you plan on trick-or-treating on Halloween night, be sure to bundle up to stay safe from the flu. It's going to be a low of 48 around that nighttime with a high of 63 during the day. So enjoy your Halloween. It won't be too cold, but it'll be chilly enough to wear a coat while you're trick-or-treating. And this weekend in sports, the Dome football teams, both European style and our traditional style of football, had good games, Mo. They both won.
Yeah, actually, the traditional style football, soccer,
Right.
as we call it in America, and the football team at Dome College actually broke their winning streak, but the volleyball team just couldn't catch the winning fever, I guess.
So it's kind of a surprising weekend, and
Yeah.
let you get right into
Well,
it.
let's just go ahead and get right into the sports.
Election day, finally 4 years
Right.
in the making, and they say that the weather has a big effect on the voter turnout.
Voter turnout should be great then for tomorrow, because the weather tomorrow is going to be the best it's for the rest of the week, I'm trying to say. So let's take a look at the nation's map here with the systems that are coming in.
Sounds good.
And you can see that there are two systems moving our way, one from the west and one from the north. Here from the west, this system's trying to get over the Rocky Mountains and bring us some rain and snow, possibly. And the one from the north is doing the same. It's just coming in a little slow, but the cold air behind that may bring snow for later on in the week. So let's look at Tuesday's map of the Midwest here. And tomorrow by noon, that whole system will be right over Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, and that system should be here no later than Wednesday. So let's go ahead and take a look at this week's forecast. Like I said, tomorrow will be beautiful weather once again, like we've been seeing for a whole week. Highs of 72, perfect weather to get out and vote. Wednesday, a high of 69 with a mix of rain and clouds, thunderstorms, all that good stuff. Wednesday is a little colder. That cold air following those systems will bring in possible snow showers. The same for Thursday and Friday, with lows in the 29s on Friday. And then Saturday, it's going to be a high of 46, which is still pretty chilly, but not what we're used to in November. Now, this weekend, don't have a lot of sports going on here on campus. Mo, did you happen to make it out and watch any of those sports? Or?
I just so happened to be under the weather on the weekend, but I heard the turnout wasn't too great for the football team. But in other sports, they had a couple of victories.
Too bad you didn't get there. I'm glad you're feeling better now.
I'm feeling better now, so let's get right.
So Andrew, it is cold as hell outside. Is it going to snow?
It has an 80% chance of snowing, so it's up there, but I don't think it will. And
Okay.
that's only for tomorrow, and then the week clears up.
Well.
But let's look at the map of what went on today in the world of weather. And as you can tell, there are a few pressure systems moving across the map here. But this is the one we should look at right here. It's a low pressure system moving towards us. And that will mean that mid in the week, we're going to warm up a little, but nothing like we saw last week. So still bundle up, because it's going to be in the 40s and low 40s actually. So, but these little lines here that we have in Nebraska, the closer together they are, the heavier the wind is moving that front. So as you can see that there is a lot of wind like usual in Nebraska. And now let's take a closer look at those lines actually. Moving across here the state, there is rain coming tomorrow morning, and like I said earlier, that has a chance of becoming snow, but it's only an 80% chance, and it's not really likely to hit Crete. So let's take a look at the week's forecast. All week we're going to be experiencing weather in the mid 40s to low 40s, except for Wednesday. when the high is 58, and that'll be the closest we get to the weather we had last week, with clouds all week until really the weekend, where there is going to be cloud cover, but Friday it's going to be heavy wind, and that's going to carry over into the weekend. Saturday, you can expect a lot of wind, a lot of clouds until early Sunday morning. It's just going to be partial cloudy with still that wind. But last weekend, Doane Tigers had a lot of sporting events because we're moving towards the playoff time for the GPAC. How did that go for us, Mo?
Well, for the women volleyball team, they actually won, but in soccer and women's soccer and men's soccer, they actually lost. But it was good news in the cross country, Doane cross country team, which you're part of, and I'm pretty sure you're proud of.
Yeah,
to the national meet. So please go ahead and jump right into it.
So Andrew, what can we expect in weather this week?
This week, you can expect a few systems moving towards us. One's not quite going to reach us, and the other will hit midweek. So let's take a look at the map right now.
Let's do that.
All right. As you can see, up there near New York, we have like a low pressure system, and the wind is going to be circling it counterclockwise, pushing that system right out into the ocean. While on the other side over here, this system's rotating the high pressure system. The wind's pushing it clockwise, and by Wednesday, it's going to reach us here in Nebraska. So we're going to have a pretty good warm day on Wednesday, midweek. Now let's take a closer look at this and look at the system that was near New York. That's about as close as it's going to get to Nebraska. We're not going to get any rain really out of it in the week, but we might see some coming up this weekend. So let's take a look at the week's forecast. Throughout the week, we're going to have highs averaging in the 40s, near the 50s, until Wednesday, when it's going to be very nice compared to last week and early on this week of 61. That's going to be the high on Wednesday. And then right after that, it's going to drop back down into the 40s up until the weekend. We won't see any wind or rain until around Sunday, when we're going to have a lot of wind and some rain showers. Now, Mo, Saturday, the Doane football team obviously didn't need you, their former running back, to get their last win of the season. What's your take on that?
Well, they didn't need me for the last win, but they needed me for a better record than 4-7.
All right, I guess we'll hear some more about the good game.
The good game.